What's up YouTube? Erbwars here, back again with another video, and today I want to talk to you guys about the Killer Instinct Arcade 1-Up. This is a cabinet that I have been anticipating, and is quite possibly the last cabinet I'm going to be adding to the game room, because I'm like out of room, guys. I'm at 16 Arcade 1-Ups. I got an MVSX. I got an iArcade, I got a Legends Ultimate, and I got the Legends Pinball. I'm out of room, and I have all my consoles and all the games that I've been collecting my whole life. So this is most likely my last. I don't want to say that because I don't want to be a hypocrite, unless I'm going to be upgrading stuff like the Asteroids cabinet, which I wouldn't mind, or the Pac-Man cabinet. This is probably the last one, at least for a very long time, until I figure something else out. Super excited to get this. Was a pretty big fan of Killer Instinct growing up. My experience with it was one of my best friend's birthday parties at his uncle's house that he threw him, and we were hanging out, being kids, playing. Back then, all we cared about were like fighting games and wrestling. We were huge into wrestling, and we were really big into metal, and just a bunch of young kids playing in his uncle's backyard. I think we were playing like on the trampoline, pretend wrestling and stuff. And his uncle pulled us all together, and it was time for him to open up his presents. And what did he get? He got Killer Instinct on a Super Nintendo. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So for me, I don't remember hearing of Killer Instinct, mainly because I had a Sega Genesis growing up and Kevin had a Super Nintendo. But his uncle knew how obsessed he was with fighting games. I mean, we used to draw comics. We would pretend to make our own fighting game movies. We would try to make our own stages of Mortal Kombat and create our own characters. We really loved fighting games. And Kevin got Killer Instinct. And like I said, that was my first experience of even hearing of it that I can recall, because I don't even remember seeing it in magazines or anything. And it came with a CD, which I don't own. This was a used I got years later when I bought my Super Nintendo. There was called Killer Cuts. And I remember we put it into his uncle's boombox in the backyard. Boombox, wow. His uncle's boombox that he had in the backyard, and we were listening to it as we were jumping on the trampoline and just being kids. And because his uncle didn't have a Super Nintendo, but he did, and it was just a way to build up the excitement for this game. And we were looking at the manual, looking at the box, and trying to figure out who the characters were. It was a huge ordeal for us. And I remember when we left his uncle's house, it was late, and I had to go home, and Kevin obviously went home and played the game. I didn't even get to play the game until the following day, and I think it was after school, because I remember going to his house, and he already, had a few hours into it, because it's his game. And I remember being like, yo, like, what's going on? I remember he was really obsessed with Cinder. I was playing Glacius, and then I was playing Fulgore, and we just had a bunch of fun just hanging out, being kids. And like, this game really is bringing me back to the 90s, man. Like, it's just crazy how that all went down. And I'm a huge Mortal Kombat guy, and also Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter, but Killer Instinct was different, and it was just so much different than those other games. Yeah, you could do your regular combos, or not combos, your regular special attacks, and figure out some people's moves. But the combo system is completely different in this game than any other game. And it's actually tough. I'm having a hard time now playing on the Arcade 1-Up, trying to learn the combos on the arcade version, because it's so different, for me at least. I was pretty decent on the Super Nintendo. I'm getting destroyed here on the arcade. And yeah, I could do my regular attacks and all, but Killer Instinct's all about combos, and I'm just trying to get used to some of the combos. I've been studying Killer Arcade games. I've been watching Twisted Gaming, Twisted Chris, and Maximilian Dude. I've been watching a bunch of Killer Instinct fights, hoping to remember how to do some of these combos on the arcade, because I don't really have much experience of the arcade version, to be honest with you guys. My most memorable moments of Killer Instinct was on Super Nintendo, and then the N64 version for Killer Instinct Gold, Killer Instinct 2. And yeah, so I'm super excited to add this to the collection. It's probably going to get a lot of use if my friend Kevin ever comes back to town, because he moved up to Vermont. it'll be a really cool thing to show him and hang out and play with him. Chances of that happening aren't very likely anytime soon, at least, because, like I said, he lives in Vermont now, so he's super far away. But yeah, that'd be really cool. It would bring me back to the early 90s, messing around playing Killer Instinct with my good buddy. So anyways, guys, super excited to add this to the game room. If anybody has any tips, I would love to hear them, because like I said, I went online a couple matches and I couldn't even get a round in. I was getting destroyed. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Did anybody here pick up Killer Instinct? If so, do you have any tips on these combos or anything I could do to improve my game? If so, I highly appreciate the answer in the comments below. Thank you so much. Erbwars out.